Hey, welcome. I don't normally do videos in this kind of a format, but here we go. I promised to do a follow-up review of our 2025 Outdoors RV 19 MKS and the results of our maiden voyage in January and February out of Montana. So here it is, May 11th, and tomorrow's my birthday, so I figured I better get to it and get this thing out so people can figure out if they want to purchase something like this or try it out or whatever. But here's our experience with it. We spent a lot of time looking for an RV like this, and it's really not disappointed. There's a few issues with it that we had on this maiden voyage, but all in all, it worked out really well. We left about January 9th. And I had intended on testing this RV to its limits, but didn't intend on testing it the first night. The first night we made it over Monida Pass, got into Du Bois, Idaho. It was 6 degrees above zero, and we were in the middle of a fog and ice storm with about 150-foot visibility outside of the headlights. And so we parked at a rest stop, put the slide out, turned the heater on, went to bed, and it iced and snowed all night long, and this thing just did fantastic. It really did. So it was a hell of a test for sure. And then we proceeded on southbound through Mesquite and Laughlin, and our ultimate destination was Quartzsite, Arizona. And we went to the Outdoors RV, about a 7-day owner's fiesta down there, and I wanted to go to Quartzsite because I'd heard so much about it, and it just wanted to see what it was really all about. And we met some freaking wonderful people at the Outdoors RV owners meet, and I learned a lot. And I think at one time there was about 90 Outdoors RV rigs there that had pulled in, and just the nicest people you can imagine, and just full of all sorts of information. It was really great. We had spent 15 days remote camping on BLM property, and really, for the most part, really enjoyed ourselves. We learned a little bit. We learned a lot from the forum folks there as well. But Quartzsite was a spectacle. I mean, I've never imagined looking out over the horizon and seeing thousands of RVs. And I don't know how many were there, if somebody told me there were 5,000 or 10,000, I would believe it. It's kind of like Burning Man for recreational vehicles. You have to really love that kind of thing. I really enjoyed it, but after 15 days, I don't know if I'm going to go back again. It was a spectacle, but we learned a lot. And, you're out there, and, there's even a guy that comes around that pumps your tanks for you and, of course, charges you and fills your fresh water tank. So we were out there for 15 days. Now, this particular 19 MKS, after watching the RV Geeks videos and GoPro and some other folks and kind of got some ideas on upgrades, we had configured this thing, for really backcountry type stuff off-grid with 4 Battleborn heated batteries and 600 watts on the roof, and another 180 watt kind of a suitcase plug-in charger. So we felt we were pretty well equipped, plus I had a 2,000 watt generator to on cloudy days or whatever to pick up the slack. I was a little worried about the 12 volt refrigerator because I'd always had a propane refrigerator and never had to worry about that power draw. So I'll just get to this right off the bat. 4 Battleborn batteries is a significant expense, and the way things have worked out is it's overkill. I think 2 would be more than adequate for what we're going to do. The 12 volt fridge did not take the power that I thought it would take, and my batteries were charged back up by 10 o'clock in the morning, easily. So there was no issues ever on the entire trip, and our trip was 2 months long. But I will say this: so we were down on Quartzsite, And even in mid and late January, the angle of the sun is so different that, our 600 watts on the roof, um, our little 180 watt, suitcase unit that we could point directly, angle directly at a 45-degree angle at the sun, did better than the 600 watts on the roof. So if you're going to do something like that, and a lot of people have their solar panels configured so they can flip them up and point them directly at the sun, and that would make a huge difference. There's no question about that. That was obvious. Even on the sunny days, we're getting 20% efficiency on these solar panels. So that was a good learning experience. Um, One thing the RV geeks mentioned is with any new house, car, RV, or whatever, you're going to have anomalies on a shakedown cruise, and we certainly did. But it was really insignificant in the scheme of 2 months. The big things were, I was worried, the heater fails in some way, then that's a single point failure and you're really going to be in a lot of trouble. Or if the slide jams in a position that's out and you can't get it back in, you've got to work with that. That's another issue. But we never had that problem. We had no problems that we couldn't resolve, and everything when I brought it back, literally the few minor things were resolved under warranty, and it just isn't even hardly worth mentioning because they were insignificant. So would I go back to Quartzsite? Probably, I'd consider it, but it's not high on my list. It's just such a spectacle, and it is off-grid camping, but it certainly isn't remote camping, that is for sure, with the thousands of people there. But it's certainly something that I wanted to experience. From there, we went on to let's see, we went up to the Grand Canyon, back up into the coal country. We went up to we went to Moab, back into the cold country again. And then we ended up also spending a week and a half at Lake Havasu, and we just really, really enjoyed that. That was just fantastic. Probably our most favorite place. So, and then we kind of worked our way back northbound, back to Montana. So we were gone about 2 months. So my take on after living in this thing for 2 months with the wall bed and everything else is we were extremely comfortable. The wall bed was no issue at all. We've got very used to it very quickly. The rig the coach was just absolutely fantastic. We got extremely comfortable in it. We had very little problems with it, and we aren't experienced RVers at all. We spent 15 days out of the 2 months completely, probably more like 18 or 19 days completely off grid, and the rest of it we were plugged in at some shape or form. It's whether we just had power or we had power, sewer, water, whatever the case is. But we really didn't. We had very few problems with this thing, and at the end of the day, this 19 MKS is just perfect for us. When you're trying to get these things backed into a tight spot at a campground or in a rest stop or at a gas station, and you see these monstrosities that we commented on many, many times, triple axle, 40-foot rigs, and these guys are trying to get around corners and through traffic. I just can't imagine that at all. It just was really a pleasure to have this. We were in Lake Havasu at an RV park there, and we were by far the smallest the smallest rig there, and we just enjoyed that for sure. Certainly, we were one of the smallest ones out of the Outdoors RV convention as well. But this thing is 24 foot 1 inch, from the ladder to the tow hitch. But it's just wonderful. Would I buy it again? Oh, there's no question about it. In fact, we're planning here next month. We're going to go up to Glacier for about 4 or 5 days. Then, the month after that, we're going to go spend some time in Yellowstone. And after that, we've already booked another trip to spend 3 months this winter down in southern Nevada, down in the Pahrump area, probably, or maybe Laughlin or Bullhead City. The problem with Lake Havasu is it's just so booked up. I mean, there's 2 years booked up, and they got waiting lists, and there's just so many people down there, and that part of it wasn't appealing to us, and it was very expensive too. So we're going to give that some thought. But it is a beautiful area. Through the Ducati Desert Sled in the back of the truck. and unloaded it at all of our camping spots, except for when we were at Grand Canyon when there was snow on the ground, and blasted all over the desert, up and down the roads, and just really, that was a lot of fun. And I'm definitely going to do that again. If we go down to the Pahrump area or Southern Nevada, I'll be riding that out into Death Valley National Monument and all over the place. So if you're considering this kind of an RV and you think it's the right one for you, and I jump on it. We've got the titanium series, and the extra options are nice. The auto leveling system is fantastic. It's probably the best part of the whole titanium package, but the rest of it is just great. I mean, taking the showers, the shower works great. I mean, we're just not used to that much luxury, and it's really a pleasure. And once we got comfortable with the bed situation up and down every night, it was absolutely no problem. We did get the Elon Musk program, the Starlink, the mobile Starlink, and I don't have anything bad to say about that. I mean, we would use that thing, throw it up on the windshield of the truck going down the road, and use it going down the road. We would throw it on the roof and use it. The one thing I will tell you, there's the cheaper version of, the low data point for, $50 a month or $80 a month. Well, we went through that data in 2 days. So if you're going to watch a movie or something like that, that's ridiculous. You're going to have to buy the unlimited data. But it is the way to go. I mean, if you have to work from the road, or if you have to communicate and email friends and family, I wouldn't rely on, McDonald's or Walmart or any of the RV park stuff. This is the only way to go. And even when we were in Sedona and we had a little bit of tree cover, all the reviews said any tree cover, you can't get reception. Well, we really found that we didn't have a lot of tree cover, but a little bit of tree cover. We still got great reception and great speed. So that Starlink is really cool stuff. So we really enjoyed that. But we're learning, and we're looking forward to this summer taking it up, and then we're looking forward to getting out of the Montana weather for a few months, going down to Southern Nevada with the motorcycle, and starting it all over again. I mean, living in this thing for 3 months I'm not even worried about it now after we spent 2 months in it before. So it's a lot of fun. But if you have different experiences or you got some ideas, leave some comments. But I'm sitting here at the dining room table, and here's the bed up here. So it's just fantastic. And we would do it all over again if we had to do it. So enjoy yourself, get out, enjoy the camping, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.